Semiconductor as really at the heart of electronics, at the heart of everything that requires computation, everything that we are using in our daily life when it's about technology. All the devices that we are using, we found semiconductor. And Africa should not just be on the side of consumer.
So if you look at the semiconductor industry today, it's about $800 billion a year, growing up to $1 trillion by 2030. And it employs over 1 million people. And by 2030, it'll need another 1 million people. So just those statistics alone tells you about how much value that supply chain has and how many people it can employ.
We are the ones that the continent has been waiting for to chart the course for it when it comes to semiconductors. We look forward to this discussion as a beginning point. It's not the end, it's the beginning point. We want conversations to also feed our human relationships. So it's not an isolated discussion on policy and big talk.
Every time you can get the level of stakeholders engagement that we had in this forum is a big win because it creates an opportunity to demystify what we're talking about. You also have the room to have people give you input into how they think this should evolve.
Actually, we are also involved in the mineral industry mining. We see the opportunity for how African countries, including East African countries, Kenya, can get into this semiconductor because all these minerals are so important for these chips. So we see the investment opportunities in Africa for this industry because of these raw materials. So that will draw a lot of investment.
So we have been engaged with the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD. The very purpose of us taking this initiative is a result of realizing that Africa has the minerals, it has the raw materials that feed into this industry. But there has not been investment in skills, in infrastructure, in manufacturing, in capability development within this space that would allow Africa to be a player and a contributor.
Africa needs to invest for Africa. Africa must provide the reason why other people should invest.
We must focus on our youth. We must be prepared to transfer the skills to our young people. We are aging.
We need to aggregate all the work groups that are currently fragmented. So when you look at Africa's semiconductor landscape, when you look at Africa's science, technology, and innovation landscape, it's fragmented. People are working in silos. It's our job to convene all these stakeholders, get them to speak to themselves, and have a coherent approach in how we deal with some of our continental challenges.
We need people who are very well trained and who can also leapfrog what we are doing. So that's where I want to see us in the next 5-10 years, that we are the one designing those components that we are using in our daily life here on the continent. So not only importing them, but designing them here by ourselves, by our youth, where there will be specializing, having some devices which are very dedicated to address specific challenges.
This is a very highly specialized field that requires high-end skills, technical skills in order for it to function. We would like to have a trained workforce in this space.
The misconception is that you can introduce semiconductor manufacturing and have it, up to scale in 10 years. It typically takes 2 decades or more, right, to actually see the benefit. there needs to be some kind of sovereign intervention. You have to have patient capital. You have to have our governments, number one, create the policies that are necessary. Not easy to do. You have to create the environment that supports not just the chip manufacturing, but the collateral industries.
It's not an industry that you get into for the short term. It's an industry that you get into for the long term. So it would be wonderful to see after 10 years, for example, when we reevaluate progress under the STISA, the Science, Technology and Innovation Strategy for Africa in 2034, to see how far an initiative of this nature, which is intended to contribute to STISA, how far that has gone, where I would like to see our continent take its rightful place within the global community, especially in this space.
We believe that it is time for Africa to position itself to be able to be a global player in the semiconductor global industry.